I wanted to show you where a theater that I loved as a kid and as a teenager in the 80s and the 90s. I even remember my daycare when I was a little kid taking us here. This is where the Terrace once sat, right on the property where I now work. So um, I'm pretty sure studying Hoffman Mill Road and it was kind of between. It was at the corner of Church Street and Hoffman Mill Road. So, and of course, there's the indoor lumber yard right there where I'm at a lot. But I tried looking online for pictures of the Terrace, and all I could find was kind of like the blueprints of I couldn't find it's that's why that's so good to document, to film and get pictures of things, well, because you never know when they're going to be. It was built in 1970, and it was torn down in 1996 when they built the West End Cinema, which also no longer existed. It was torn down when they built the Carousel Cinema. So things go as time goes on. Not everything lasts. Some things last forever, it seems like, but some things don't. But to my recollection, it would have been in this like little area, kind of where we keep some lumber and trailers. But yeah, so cool. One of my favorite theaters. I remember seeing Home Alone there, and oh God, what else I saw the Terminator 2. Seems like we saw. Pippi Longstocking there with my daycare. Oh, I saw the original Batman with Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton in '89. I think the daycare took us to see that on during the day. And I found a picture, an aerial picture of the '60s when I think Holly Hill Mall was being built, and it showed what it looked like. An aerial picture of the corner of Church Street and Hoffman Mill Road. The last movie I saw there before they tore it down in '96 was Liar Liar, it seems like. Oh God, I think I even made out with my first girl there. Actually, I know I did. I was 15. Actually, I made out on the terrace of the Terrace. So crazy though. This is pretty cool. This is a Google Terrace, and this is another layout of how the Terrace. I mean, this is how it looked. This is sort of a blueprint picture drawing. Uh, but that's how it did look, and I don't know what this is. If this is for the grand opening, if this was a phone book ad for the like an old '70s or '80s, phone book. That's how the. I wish I could find a real, besides the aerial black and white of it. I think that's the early '70s. The aerial. I was thinking. I don't know why I say it was built. It says it was built in '70. And that is it. I can tell by the architecture that was it. So it has to be early '70s at least in that aerial photo of it. But to the side of where Lowe's Home Improvement now is. But yeah, so people are probably like, "What the heck is he? What would he be filming? What's so important here?" Yeah, just good old memories of Burlington and mom and pop theaters that no longer exist. I remember it had two theaters. There was one on each side. So you had two movies to choose from. It's not like now where you go to a theater and there's 13 movies to choose from. Zoomed in, yeah, you can definitely see that was definitely the Terrace. You can even see the letters. I don't know if that was a Terrace when it first. I assume it was. I thought I had read that it was a different name when it first opened, but it says Terrace in that ad. But I could tell by that architecture, by the columns, when you're walking along the glass, there were columns, several white cement columns, to my recollection, and yeah, and then I think the building there, right there, was a Chinese restaurant at one time, but all that, a lot of that's torn down now, and then yeah, that especially the theater, and that's the parking lot of Lowe's Home Improvement now, where things are sold: storage sheds, trailers, some lumber, and whatnot. So cool though that at least this exists. Some kind of relic to my my past. From from a theater that enjoyed a lot of films back in the 80s and 90s.